Hi, Caleb and Steve here, back with another edition of Smyth Busters. And this one, like many other ones, Steve, is another viewer-requested video.
Excellent.
And it is, does terminology really matter?
Well, does it? I mean, we use a lot of words interchangeably in the gun world, just like in the auto world and everything else.
We do. And, you know, I think it matters to an extent. And then once you hit a certain line, you're kind of just being a jerk to prove a point. So,
Right. Because, you know, when we're on the tech line, we automatically translate whatever they say into what it really is sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
Or try to.
And whenever I was gunsmithing at a shop, and that was part of a retail store, you know, I'd be walking across from one part of the shop to the other, and on occasion I'd get stopped by a retail customer that would say, hey, you have a clip for a Glock 19? And I didn't stop and say, whoa, pump the brakes there, sir. You mean magazine. I didn't do that. I would get it for him, and I would hand it. Yeah, I mean, I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Just, you know, despite what he thinks, I'm a nice guy. But I would usually, the way I would approach that is to, you know, get him what he needs and hand it back to him, or hand it to him as a magazine, like, oh, here's one magazine for Glock 19. There you go, sir. And just left it at that.
So what is a clip?
A clip?
Yeah.
It's for your hair, Steve.
Oh, yeah.
No.
But in the gun world?
A clip is typically used, well, let's say this. A clip holds cartridges just like, not bullets. We'll get into that here in just a moment. A clip will hold cartridges just as a magazine will, but typically a clip is used to feed a magazine in most cases, whether that be internal or external magazine. And a magazine will also have a spring and follower, whereas a clip will not.
Right. It's used to charge a magazine, and sometimes they're called chargers as well.
Yep.
And if you shoot a revolver, you might use moon clips. Same thing. It holds the cartridges in place and allows you to load the gun just much easier.
And speaking of cartridges, not bullets.
Oh.
The bullet is what sits on the front of your cartridge here. It makes up the actual projectile. That's your bullet.
Right.
So if this will matter, again, there's a line between being a jerk and just kind of knowing what the customer or whoever's talking is talking about. If you're trying to order something and, you know, you order, let's say, you know, a bunch of 38 bullets and are expecting cartridges, then yeah, the terminology just definitely mattered because you didn't order your complete cartridge.
Right.
But again, in most cases, we know who we're talking to is talking about. So
sure.
Just don't be a jerk about it.
Just gently remind them that Barney Fife used bullets in his gun, but we use cartridges.
There you go. Oh, why are you so old, Steve? I'm just kidding. I got the reference,
okay.
So I guess, you know, whatever.
So this is a magazine, and this is a clip. And with a clip, you can feed a magazine if they're set up for that way.
If they're set up that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it a big deal?
Not in most cases, no, not at all.
Just on the forums.
On the forums, it's a huge deal. In this comment section, it's about to be a huge deal. We can't see it yet because we don't have a video put together, but it's
right.
I got for C.
Now, one of the terms that gets used that isn't really the right term, and yet it sort of is everybody calls this a buffer tube.
No, Steve, that's a receiver extension.
Yeah, but I call it a buffer tube.
I call it a buffer tube all the time, too. It's not that big of a deal.
I can't help myself.
Yeah, that's one of the ones, that's probably like the least critical of all of them.
That's the tube the buffer goes in.
It's the tube, you stick the buffer.
I mean, everybody knows it's going to make the receiver longer. You don't need to tell me it's an extension.
Yeah, we know that. So, yeah, I mean, that's one that doesn't really matter. So, does terminology really matter, Steve?
Well, is it Leupold or Leopold, or is it Sacco or Seiko? You know, tomato? I don't care.
Is it Heckler and Koch or Heckler and Koch? Because there's really only one correct way to say that. But.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
We won't even go there.
So I would say it's plausible that it does matter. I'm not going to say busted because it's situational dependent, and I think any sane person would agree with us on that.
Sure. And if you call us on the tech line, we'll actually know what you're talking about regardless of what you call the thing.
Sure. So is there any terms or terminology as far in the gun world that that's really your pet peeve? Let us know in the comment section, and as always, if you disagree with us completely, we'd like to hear about it. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time in another edition of Smyth Busters.